Buying a BMW i5 is a bit like visiting Pizza Express. It's great, it hits all the right spots, but if you pay full price, you feel like a bit of a mug. You need to use a discount code or get to gold status on the app, like me. That's because the i5, when it was new, was about £80,000 for this entry-level model. After 18 months and 10,000 miles, this one has dropped to £38,000. That's less than half price. So is it the bargain of the century, or does it still have some way to go until it feels like good value? Let's find out. At least you're getting a lot of car for your money. Literally, it's over 5 meters long now, which is outrageous. It has got a massive battery as well. It's about 81 kilowatt hours, good for 374 miles of electric driving. On paper, expect more like 300 miles in the real world. It can fast charge at 205 kilowatts, so getting from 10 to 80% takes half an hour. It is rear-wheel drive in classic BMW fashion. This is the entry-level eDrive 40, so you've got 340 horsepower going to the rear wheels, which is way more than you get in the basic petrol version, the 520i. That's only got just over 200 horsepower. I don't know how it can get out of its own way. This electric version though is heavy, 2.2 tons, which somehow is still 200 kilos less than the M5 that we reviewed on the channel a couple of weeks ago. Look, let's talk about how the new 5 Series looks. I just don't think it's going to go down in the history books as a classic like the E39. We've got a chintzy light up grille on this one. You get LED headlights. This is a lot. There's a lot of metal in this bonnet. You could probably land a Harrier on this and you wouldn't really notice. That's because they need to fit a big V8 under there for the M5, but this is electric, so isn't that all really nice, useful space? No, it's not. There's no frunk. Bit of a shame. It looks okay. It'll probably grow on us over time like all classic BMW designs, but for now, I'm not quite there. The back end of the i5 is a bit like your coccyx, a bit like your tailbone, because you've got some leftover remnants from other models here. Look, it's trying to look like it's got exhausts, but it hasn't. Has got a pretty big boot though, 490 litres. Obviously it's a saloon, not electrically opening on this model, which I like because that's just a waste on a saloon. It's really deep. Look, my bag is here, and then look, my bag has disappeared like, I don't know, a tourist into a cave or something. You've got these bins at the side for stuff, and under there, you've got loads of space for your charging cables. Now, obviously, you can also get this as an estate, which gives you a bigger boot, but whichever one you get a reversing camera, and you can also tow up to 2 tons, which is not bad. Obviously, it will knacker your range, but it's useful to be able to tow stuff even if you've got an electric car. The interior of the i5 is lovely. It's as cosseting as a nice warm pair of lederhosen on a chilly autumn evening. You've got a flat bottom sporty steering wheel, which is a bit too thick in typical BMW fashion. The center console feels nice and high. The driving position is nice and sporty. There's loads of adjustment in the wheel. That stuff is classic BMW. Now, unfortunately, there's some classic modern BMW stuff, such as the infotainment system. It's big, it's impressive, but when you're trying to find stuff on the move, it is just dangerously distracting. There's too much stuff. There are too many little icons. I would recommend that you use the voice recognition to get through all the menus. It's just safer when you're driving. But hey, it's got wireless CarPlay, it's got Android Auto, you've got wireless chargers down here, 2 of them. In fact, got a nice bit of storage in here with a 12-volt socket, and you've got a glove box, which is just about big enough to hold a copy of Ulysses or something like that. You've got a big door bins, the leather's nice and soft. It does feel good in here, but the light bars, these faceted panels, just too chintzy. I said this before in the M5 review. When you put the hazards on, they flash red, and when you change the driving modes, they change color as well. It's a bit over the top. The last good thing that I really like about the interior is the sound system. This one's got the Harman Kardon sound system. It's really punchy, it's really nice, and on long motorway journeys, you just sit back, relax, remember that you haven't got radar cruise in this one, annoyingly, and just chill out. What's not to like? Praise the Bavarian overlords, there is good rear seat space in the i5. You would hope so, considering how big this car is, but look, knee room, headroom, foot room is good for a bit, and then actually, this is quite low and there's not much space on there for my feet if I really jam them in. Got 2 USB-Cs here. Unfortunately, look, big lump in the floor because this chassis has to be used for the M5 and the petrol versions which have drive shafts and things like that. So your middle seat, although it's wide, you're going to be playing footsie with them if there's 3 adults in the back. But for children, it's going to be fine. Got ISOFIX points that are easy to get to. It does just feel a little bit like they've cut some costs here. Look at the back of these seats. That is one depressing, unstyled, unoptimized piece of plastic. That should have a net on it or something useful, but no, it's actually quite ugly, ugly thing. But hey, you've got big door pockets at least. Right, driving the BMW i5 is actually quite intimidating at first. There's so much bonnet in front of you that you feel like you're in a different county from the front of the car, likewise the back of it. But it does still have some BMW characteristics. When you're driving it down a country road with 340 horsepower going to the back wheels, on the way out of corners you do just feel a push. It's not skidding or anything like that, but it does just feel more entertaining than a big heavy front wheel drive EV, but the steering is really, really light. There's no feedback through it. It just doesn't feel like an iconic BMW to drive, I'm afraid. It doesn't roll much in the corners at least, and that 2.2 ton mass is mostly kept in check, but it's just not exciting to drive. It's fast, 0 to 62 is 6 seconds, and there is a silly dual motor version of this, the M60 eDrive, that'll do 0 to 62 in 3.8 seconds and make your kids vomit. But that one was well over £100,000 new, so it's a bit of a rarity. This though, it's a wafter. It's comfortable, it's refined, and when you get on a motorway and you work on your efficiency, it's actually quite a nice thing to drive. The brake pedal isn't too sharp, you can chauffeur around in it. It feels like a 7 Series, I'll be honest. It feels like that luxury halo of the BMW range, but now it's more accessible for us mere mortals in the 5 Series. All the technology works well, apart from having to tell it to turn the speed limit warning bong off using the voice commands. Yeah, it's not a thrilling car to drive. It's just a comfortable, quiet one. One thing I really like about all modern electric BMWs is their dynamic regenerative braking. That's basically a fancy way of saying it automatically slows itself down when you lift off the accelerator, but it adjusts that amount depending on the cars in front, upcoming speed limit changes, and what it knows about the world around it. So if you're on a motorway and it's nice and clear, when you lift off at 70 miles an hour, it just keeps going at 70 miles an hour, but when you're coming up to a roundabout, a bend in the road, or there's a car slowing down, it will slow down more for you. So you don't have to mess about with paddles or anything like that to adjust it. In fact, there is only one paddle, and that gives you 10 seconds of super sport boost mode, which just makes it easier to overtake stuff, gives you maximum punch, no matter which of the driving modes you're in. Oh, and yes, there are driving modes. You've got all the usual Hans Zimmer sound effects, you've got sport, personal. My favourite though, silent. Doesn't make any stupid noises. Sorry, Hans Zimmer. I love your synth work, but not in a car. Anyway, visibility out the back is actually pretty good because it's still a saloon. It's not got massive thick pillars at the back. The mirrors are a decent size. It's efficient. It's quiet motorway speeds. It ticks all the important boxes, apart from the excitement one. But anyway, on that note, let's head back for a conclusion. Is the BMW i5 everything you want an electric BMW to be? Well, almost. It's efficient, it's clever, the tech is really good, and the adaptive regenerative braking means driving it is a piece of cake. You barely ever use the brake pedal. It's also reasonably efficient as well. You'll easily get 300 miles out of this version. It's just the looks and the sheer size. If you're parking this in UK supermarket car parks, you will struggle a little bit, and then there's the driving dynamics, which aren't as good as BMWs used to be. At 2.2 tons, that's hardly surprising. But as a do-it-all car that's depreciated over £40,000 in a year and a half, second-hand, is a bona fide bargain. Thank you for watching this video. If you've liked it, please consider hitting like, subscribe to the Motorpoint YouTube channel for more new and used car videos, and go down to the comments and tell us whether you'd have one of these i5s when they're 38 grand rather than £80,000. Goodbye. Ow.